Howdy doody.
Hey.
Sorry you haven't seen much of us just the last couple of weeks. We've been busy and feeling sick because of the state of affairs that are currently in England and especially in Parliament.
Well, did you see that? Remember we did a video a month or so back about Ken Clarke. Yeah, the paedophile Ken Clarke.
Best friend to Ben Fellows, eh?
Yeah, and it's recently come out. I think it was Pie Mash Films put it out actually.
Okay.
That well, the story was that the Cook report had done an undercover investigation into the paedophile Ken Clarke, and they got Ben Fellows to go in as pretend to be a 15-year-old boy, and Ken Clarke messed with him. Now, what happened then was that Carlton TV bought out Central TV specifically to kill the Cook report, so nobody found out about Ken Clarke being a paedophile.
Carlton TV?
Carlton TV.
The one that was at the space at the Central Studios in Nottingham?
Yes, that's the very same. But the interesting thing is that the time when Carlton TV bought out Central TV is, guess who the CEO of Carlton TV was?
Who would be the CEO? Oh, I've absolutely no idea. Who was the CEO?
David Cameron.
Really?
The PM, the present PM.
Cameron was covering up child sex.
Oh yes.
And stuff. But hasn't he just appointed this Elizabeth Butler Slosh?
That's right.
To head the investigations into the paedophilia that's been going on in the 80s in Parliament.
And you know something about her brother, don't you?
Oh, her brother, Michael Havers. Yeah, he was, I think he's a judge, and he was responsible for the cover-up in the late 80s of previous child sex allegations.
So he was probably to do with the cover-up of Carlton buying Central and covering up the Ken Clarke paedophile affair.
It's amazing, isn't it? They look after their own.
So
they have an inquiry and they appoint people who cover these things up in order to protect themselves.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. If you were a criminal, you would appoint someone that you know is going to be favourable to you in charge of anything like that, wouldn't you? Because let's face it, you don't want to get done. But then again, if they do get done, what happens? Like Rolf Harris. You see that, where he drew a picture of a door with bars on it? You worked out what it is yet?
Did you see those pictures of him going down the river the other day with a big smile on his face after he'd been sentenced?
Yeah, because he's
gone to some holiday camp, hasn't he?
Absolutely, it's like a Savoy. What these paedophiles need is to be put in general population and treated exactly the way they should be. Like they've treated the kids that they've abused, murdered, and, well, it gets worse. In Pie and Mash they were saying how Howe was there.
Jeffrey Howe.
Yeah, one of these snuff movies.
No.
And they got this, it's either 8 or 12-year-old kid from London who they kidnapped and had sold for £400 to a place in Amsterdam. And basically, they filmed this snuff movie. They get one of the kids they've been torturing and raping. They get one of the kids to film on proper professional gear Howe and others torturing this 8-year-old boy. They cut his nipples off. They cut his privates off.
Sorry about this, everybody. It's not us doing this.
And they leave him to die. Blood pouring out his body. They leave him to die of... this is after they've abused him for horrendous amounts of time.
Well, I got sent a website the other day, and it shows you that the royals were up to this as well.
Yeah.
And if you remember correctly, rightly, wrongly, that Rolf Harris, Jimmy Savile, Margaret Thatcher were all mates with Prince Charles and the Queen.
Yeah. Well, that just shows you that they're all in it together. Well, it was come out recently about them hunting parties they had in at least 2008.
There were two
over in Belgium.
Like hostels for children, care homes. One was in Belgium and one was in Holland. And what were they doing with kids from here? They were kidnapping them, weren't they?
They were taking them.
Well, I'll put the link in below.
Just like
to this webpage.
Just like Lizzie did in Canada back in the 60s when she took, I think it was 8 or 10 kids from one of the care homes there that were never seen again. They were taking them, stripping them, molesting them, then letting them go on their private land, and if they escaped, they lived. Nobody ever escaped.
They were shooting them?
Murdered, yeah.
Oh dear. Now I'd like to ask the question, What kind of people do this to children and other people? What kind of sick individuals would do this?
More importantly, we've got these sick mother...
Careful now.
in Parliament. And, oh, you may or may not have heard, they had a vote on whether they should have an inquiry into the paedophiles in Parliament.
An inquiry? Not arresting anybody?
No. Rich people don't get arrested, they get inquiries. And over 500 of the paedophiles in Parliament voted against it. Now, the fact they voted against it, and it's probably one of your lot's MPs, so I'd be checking with them if I were you. If they voted against it, that means they're up to it. There was I think there was just over 130 voted for it. 500 paedophiles voted against it.
Well, you know, David Cameron said the other day, I was round at a friend's house and he'd got the news on, and Cameron came on TV and he said, I will leave no stone unturned.
Yeah. Oh, look, here's a stone. Here's a stone. Oh, it's one of our lot. I'll turn it over and put it back down.
What he actually didn't say, did you notice that he didn't say, I will arrest every single one, including this Lord, Leon Britton. I'll arrest Leon Britton and I'll have all the rest arrested. But who's going to arrest them? The police.
Those that swear an oath to protect the Queen.
We exposed a list of 1,300 police individuals that were having sex with babies.
So let's just get this in perspective here. You've got the paedophiles in Parliament raping, torturing and killing children. Yeah. Paedophiles in the police force raping, torturing and killing children. These are those at the top. The ones that those below take their information from and are told what to do.
Don't forget the royal family as well.
Oh, the royal family. Well, that goes without saying. I remember back in the 80s it was, where one of Charlie's butlers came out and said that Charlie had been buggering him up the backside. So, you know, the royals are paedophiles, the government are paedophiles, the heads of the police force are paedophiles. This is why nothing ever gets done. This is why no one ever gets arrested, because they're in it together.
So, what kind of people actually do these horrible acts against our children, or our other children, and other people's children? What kind of people do you think are that sick? But basically, I've said all along that you know, when you're on this planetary game sphere, and it is a planetary game sphere which has been co-created in the past, present and future by thought form, right? It's an illusion, but it's a fantastic illusion. You've got the choice whether to go on a positive path or a negative path. And have you noticed everybody that gives the illusion of so-called authority, that seek elitism, corruption and control over others, seem to enjoy this sick kind of control, whether it be mental mind control, sexual control, because they seem to get a kind of energy from it. Yeah. But they are our negative other selves who've taken to a path of negativity, which is not positive. Well, it's not good, is it?
Allegedly, one of the reasons they terrify the children is because they release certain hormone into the blood, which these paedophiles actually like drinking, but only after the children have been absolutely terrified.
So when's it all going to end?
Well, as soon as everybody here realises that they're all corrupt.
Everybody else putting up with this?
We've put up with it for far too long.
What are we going to do if everybody just puts it up and they carry on having inquiries? Are you all still going to carry on registering to vote and then vote for your local politician? Because they're really good people. They've got our best interests at heart.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No, they haven't.
Got our children's best interests. Oh, no, they haven't that either.
What is it with these parliamenticians? Actually, do they only think of their dicks? Is that all they think of, is their dicks?
Well, it's not just the men as well. The women are the same.
What about Theresa May? She was put in charge in order to appoint Elizabeth Butler Slosh.
Theresa May. Now, wait a minute.
You've had something to say about... Didn't Theresa May come up with a couple of statements a few months ago?
Well, it was last year or the year before, I can't remember. But what she actually wanted was the age of consent lowering to 5.
You are having a joke.
5-year-old.
No, she did say this. 5. And she says that human rights should be abolished. A beautiful woman that she is. Oh, now yes. She's been put... Did you know... I noticed the Parliament channel the other day, round at a friend's house again, watching his box. Right, he's going to have to get a new TV because we put my foot through it. A bit like David Icke's TV. Don't quote me on that. Theresa May. Yes. The Parliament was empty. Cameron, Clegg, all ran off until yesterday when they came on TV and they said that they we're going to put emergency measures in where we're going to watch. It says that terrorists use mobile phones, text service and emails and the internet.
To be fair, I have seen Cameron using a mobile phone, so yes, he is correct. Terrorists do use mobile phones.
There you have it. What's going to be done about this, people? You're just going to put up with it and take it up the... It's not nice, is it? Children? Children? By our servitude?
It's sadly, I mean, it is sad, but it is how David Icke says it is. Everything's the opposite way round.
The police upside down.
The police aren't there.
Stop the planet. I want to get off.
Yeah.
I want to get off.